All right, hello and welcome to the third edition of the Pondwater Dave Show. My name is Justin Davis, and I am here joined by my two co-hosts and the man that the show is named after, Pondwater Dave. I just want to say I just listened to the first edition of your other podcast, the Aftermag Chats, and it was fantastic, Dave. Congratulations, and I'm looking forward to the rest of your show. So how'd you feel about your first week? What was
Well,
the feedback?
thank you, Justin. Glad to be with y'all again tonight, and super excited about the after mag chats. First episode went really well. I was real nervous right out of the gate, so I stammered and stuttered more than I normally do, but I calmed down and we rolled with it. And you know, Bill Apter is going to provide a lot of great content for us to talk about. These interviews are incredible. Click the link and go listen to the full 40-minute interview
Mm-hmm.
because we only broke down a very small part of it. Bruno's life from a small child to when he came to America is pretty fascinating. And just listening to him describe, I mean, it's really,
They
he went
fled
through,
World War II. They fled World War II, right?
they did
Yeah, fleet. They
fled
fleet.
World War II. So,
Yeah. I was struck by how nice and personable Bill Apter is. Um, he just seemed genuinely excited to be on the show talking about the old history of wrestling. And he goes back all the way to the mid to early 60s, which it's a lot of years of being at the matches, so to speak. So he has seen it all. um when you've seen the start and end of Bruno Sammartino's career, you've seen a lot.
yeah, you have.
And it's just really cool how you guys got it set up. Well, you will play a little piece of the interview and then talk about it with Bill. And like I said, I'm excited to see what's coming up next. I hope everyone else checks it out. As we said, the first episode is about Bruno Sammartino and his interview with Bruno. And Bruno just comes across as a super sweet, genuine man as well in that. Would you not think so, Dave?
Oh, yeah. He sounded like he was really proud, had his priorities straight, loved his family, wanted to provide for them, loved the people. It's
Yeah.
just, he seemed like,
He
you
really
know,
cared about his fans. You could definitely tell that in
oh,
the interview.
definitely,
Hmm.
definitely. And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, this the aftermag chats is bonus content at adfreeshows.com. It's behind the paywall. Uh,
Comes out every Monday, right?
comes
Or
out every
every
other
other Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Every other Monday. Mike Chioda gets the other Monday. It's referees on Monday.
that's right. Referee Monday. So let's go ahead and introduce our other co-host of the show, the first lady of the Arn Anderson fan club, Miss Amy Vaughn. How are you doing? I know you and I are both on our first day of vacation. We get that little
Yes.
Thanksgiving break. I know I don't go back to work till Tuesday of next week. How about you?
Oh, I have to go back Monday, but I'll
Oh,
take
okay.
it, right? I'll
Yeah.
take it. No complaints here.
Yep. So what's been going on with you?
Not a whole lot. I have been trying to make sure people know that Arn is got a Kickstarter campaign going on
Yep.
for his graphic novel, and super excited about that. If you don't know about that, basically Arn is having a graphic novel written, and you can get in on it in different ways. You can get there are different levels. You go to arncomic.com, and it takes you to the Kickstarter link, and you get to look and see. You could do a shirt, you can get the book, you can get a shirt and a book. If you did not get in on Tony Schiavone's graphic novel, there's an option to get both of the books. If you just want to make a pledge, there's all kinds of things that you can do. So super excited about that. Um, so like I said, that has been something that's been kind of going on. And like I said, just trying to make sure people know that it's out there and encourage them to, get that chance of a lifetime. Get in the book.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
Uh,
as the campaign goes on, if they reach certain levels, it unlocks and adds more perks to it. Like
Yeah.
I ordered the hardback.
Hmm.
So I mean, if they get to a certain level, then everybody involved with the project's going to autograph it, including
Yes.
Arn.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And there might be more after that. We don't even know. So, like I said,
well, they
the
had
more
to with
people-
Tony Schiavone. It just kept growing and growing.
Right. Yep.
Awesome.
I
So we
thought
got
it was
30 days from the 15th. So I think it's, assuming December 15th, somewhere in there is whenever, they go 30 days. So we've already met the base goal, but like you said, now it's the perks. And so we definitely want to keep pushing that. And again, what has Arn not done, And so, like I said, I'm super excited about this book. It talks about his life. Dirk Manning did a Facebook Live. That I happened to see, and he says that there's things in the novel that Arn has never discussed, like he's never told about or talked about.
Mhm.
So, we're going to get a little bit more of Arn in this book, and I'm always excited about that.
Well, that's good. I know on my end, in case anyone was wondering, which probably they weren't, but I've my basketball season has started since Friday. I have done 5 high school basketball girls games since Friday evening. So my schedule is getting in full swing, and I'll be doing some boys basketball tomorrow night, which is why we're recording one day early this week, but that's okay. We made it work. And let's go into our headlines, our wrestling headlines of the week. I almost said wrestling headlines, as in I'm Elmer Fudd over here. The Usos have passed the New Day as the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions of all time. And for me, I feel like Dave and Amy, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like they're making the bloodline kind of like the Horsemen, where they have the belts forever and they just kind of dominate. Seems like they're sliding them in that Horseman spot. What's your guys' feelings on that?
Well, for starters, I'm a New Day guy, so I'm not feeling really oozy about this.
Yeah.
But I get it, and you can't discount what either team's done, but the Usos have come a long way.
Definitely. And I agree with you, Dave. Like with this bloodline and the story that you're trying to tell about Roman Reigns being the most dominant, it just adds a little bit more to that prestige of the bloodline that, they've surpassed the New Day. They're the longest reigning. No one's been able to beat them. No one's been able to beat Roman. So I think it plays very nicely into the storyline that we have going on right now.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're really just doing a great job of putting them over. And I thought the SummerSlam match they had with the Street Profits was fantastic. They always have great matches. There's no reason why not to just, as long as Roman has it, they should have it. Whenever Roman loses it, they're going to drop theirs too, I feel like.
Well, I would have liked to have seen the New Day prevent them from getting that record. So
your New Day Markness is showing, Dave.
Well, and then the announcers tried to compare them, to the Freebirds, and no.
Who? Pronouns. Who did they compare to the Freebirds?
Tried to compare the Usos to the Freebirds.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not.
I would kind of compare New Day to the Freebirds more.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, just because there's 3 of them, and
right. And they actually did the Freebird rules when they were champions. Any one of them could do it, but you talked about great tag teams, and I don't know.
Were the Freebirds ever in the WWF?
For a minute.
For a minute.
84 or 5, and they got fired about a week or 2 into
it. Didn't last.
Was it who? Just Jimmy? Who was it? Jimmy Jam?
It was Michael.
No, it was Michael and Terry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
I don't know
curious.
if Buddy went with them or not, but
They pulled what the Rockers would do a couple years later and went in and showed their ass and got asked to leave real quick.
yeah.
I gotcha. I just thought if they're talking about the Freebirds, I was like, were they even in the WWE? But
Well,
okay, cool.
Michael Hayes is backstage, so
Well, of course, yes.
that was probably just his way to take a shot at Michael Hayes. It was probably needling him, but
Do.
yeah.
Well, speaking of WWE headlines, they have announced that they're going to have a post-show press conference for the Survivor Series. Teams of 5 strive to survive, pal. So, what do you think about that? I hate this post-show press conference, unless it's just Triple H talking, which that's been the way in the past.
Mhm.
That I'm fine with. But we've seen how much of a disaster it can be to bring wrestlers in right after the show with the other promotion over there. So I really hope that they just keep it with Triple H. What do you feel like, Dave? What's gonna happen there?
I think it's going to be a full-blown press conference. I think it's going to be highly controlled. I think it's a way to show AEW this is how you do it. Because our wrestlers will not go into business for themselves because they know we will fire their ass.
Yeah.
There will be real consequences. They don't do that here.
Mhm. I think that's a way of showing Triple H's authority, because, like you said, Vince McMahon didn't do anything like that.
No,
And so
I mean,
this is,
at least they're not calling it a scrum.
No shit or no crap. What I have a problem with though
PG.
is what I do
You
have
have a problem with PG. No.
yeah, I do have a problem with that. What I do, I just hope that they stay in character. I hate when it would be like the Undertaker just finishing off Mick Foley at the Hell in the Cell and then walking in and being out of character 5 minutes later on a
Right.
I don't
right.
like that. I'm okay with wrestlers doing it if they stay in character.
Right.
But if they come in there and be, Mark Calloway instead of the Undertaker, I don't think that's cool when you're just asking people to buy into your character 5 minutes before that.
I think it's going to be a completely in character press conference. I think it's going to be, content for Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
But it does strike me as funny that all of a sudden, when that went so great for AEW, that WWE thinks it's a good idea to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, can I say something really, really quick that I read today?
Sure.
And I'm super excited about. There's a huge possibility that WrestleMania 43, which I know is, 4 years away, will be in Nashville, Tennessee, because they are building a new stadium. Mm-hmm. And I read that article that they had. We were all there. Well, Pondwater, did you go to SummerSlam?
I didn't go to the event. I was in town though.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Justin and I were there at Nissan Stadium at SummerSlam, and apparently it had a really good experience there. And so they were talking about if they get this stadium built like they're proposing for the Tennessee Titans, that there's a huge chance that Nashville will be able to host WrestleMania 43. And I am super excited about that. That something is going to be that close
me too.
to where we live.
Yeah, I can drive there. I can drive there in 5.5 hours, 6 hours tops. And Nashville's a fun city.
Yes.
Now Nashville's an expensive city. I mean, it's very expensive to go to Nashville. I mean, rooms are not cheap.
Yeah.
No, that's rooms definitely.
There's nothing in Nashville that was cheap.
Amy, I would say this is the closest WrestleMania to us since Indianapolis or Detroit.
I agree.
So there has not been a lot of close ones for us to get to, and I would love to make that if that is a possibility, because it's hard to fly to LA and with all the expenses.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not either. So
right.
I mean,
I would much rather spend it on something else. But yeah, that coming to Nashville like that. Now, see, Pondwater, you just need to go down whatever that is. It 2nd Street, the bar area, Broadway. Go down Broadway, Nashville. I went into a building, didn't have to pay a cover charge. got to watch a great cover band for 2 hours on Friday. I bought one drink, so
Oh
I only
no,
paid
I'm not.
$10
I'm
that
not
whole
talking
day.
about the. I'm not talking about the entertainment. I'm talking about the fact that your hotel room is,
Yeah.
Yes, and
$200 a night.
especially well, and like you said, especially if the Titans are playing. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, that's how they make their money, I guess. Anyway, sorry.
No,
Well,
no. I mean, Nashville's fun. I mean, we went out one night. We got there early before the event,
Hmm.
before Ric Flair's last match, which I don't know if y'all heard or not, but I counted the final three.
Well, let's get somebody out there. Get a referee. Come on. Don't stand there. It's Dave. It's Super Dave. All right, Dave, come on. Dave Miller. The figure four is on. 1, 2, 3.
Anyway,
No.
we went down to Nudies, and Nudies was my favorite place. We've been the last 2 years, and
Mhm.
I like Nudies, but it just wasn't hitting for us. And we went across to Reds, old Reds, Blake
is-
Shelton's place, and we had the best time. I mean, the band was incredible, service. I mean, the drinks are good, and
isn't Tootsie's a big bar down there?
yes,
Okay, that's what I thought. Because the only reason I know that's because they sponsor a NASCAR.
Tootsie's is Kid Rock's place, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it? Maybe.
I believe it is. I think it is.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do a little show and tell here as we do every single week. And once again, this week Dave's got something for us. As you can see, he has a whole, warehouse full of stuff back there, and he's gonna pull out. This ain't the 10 pounds of gold, as Conrad said this week. This is about the 25 pounds of gold that he's got. The AEW World Championship belt that Chris Jericho left in a Longhorn Steakhouse. Let's look at that thing. That thing is a beautiful belt.
It
It's
is a beautiful belt. This one is the official AEW replica that AEW sells. It's heavy. This thing is made, and it's on real leather. This has been re-leathered by a guy named Dan Kaminsky. Ring the bell, ringbellbelts.com. He does re-leathering. He'll do leather jobs for you. So it's on real leather. And when you pick this up, you can't tell that this isn't a real wrestling belt.
Mhm.
That this is a mass produced, like this, what you get from WWE from the shop zone. This is the nicest replica I believe I've ever seen. And I'm told the TNT belt that's coming,
Mhm.
and I did pre-order one because I was told if you think belt guys are going to love it. The quality is there. The TNT belt is supposed to be better than this one, if you can believe that.
No, you're right. That's a nice belt.
I mean, this thing weighs 10 pounds, just like a real belt. And when, like I said, on real leather, I bought this secondhand. So I don't know what the stock strap was on it, but from what I'm told, that the strap that's coming with the TNT belt, the hardcore fans will probably get it re-leathered, but that, from what I understand, it's not necessary. And I bought the red one. I pre-ordered the red one, and the only way you can get the red one was through the pre-order.
Mhm.
So if you didn't pre-order a red one, you're not getting it. The black leather one is going to be what's going to be sold going forward.
Well, this belt, the AEW World Championship belt, debuted on May 25th, 2019. And guess who brought it out to the ring? That's right. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever damn will be. Bret the Hitman Hart brought this belt out to the ring to debut it. And Chris Jericho defeated Kenny Omega in the main event of Double or Nothing and became the first AEW World Champion. And he wouldn't have that belt long because he would lose it that night somewhere in a restaurant.
Longhorns, right?
Le champion.
Mhm. But yeah, I think it's a really cool belt. Since the day, I mean, it might have had something to do with Bret Hart debuting it, but since the day it came out, I've always thought it was a wonderful looking belt. It's a lot of gold. It's big.
based on
like,
the Mid-South North American.
yes, and it's almost like they tried to outdo the big gold with just making it bigger and more extravagant in a way.
Well, the original one was extremely heavy. A lot of stacked plates on it. Very, very
original
heavy
what?
belts. The original belt.
Original
The original
AEW
ring
belt?
used belt
Okay.
that Chris Jericho won that night was
Mhm.
a very heavy belt. From what I understand, it's been re-engineered where it's not so heavy. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful belt. It's second only to the TNT belt, in my opinion.
I guess we should get that story right. At All Out, AEW All Out on August 31st, Jericho defeated Hangman Adam Page in the main event. The following day, it was reported by Tallahassee police that the physical championship belt was stolen from Jericho's limousine while he was traveling, and it was recovered on September 4th. So I got that wrong. It was debuted at Double or Nothing, but it was actually the first champion. Jericho was crowned at Double or Nothing on August 31st and had it stolen that night, and then recovered on September 4th. So there's that whole official story.
Well, now we're gonna go ahead we'll segue into talking about AEW. We're gonna review Full Gear 2022.
Yep. Our first, we're gonna go. Let's see, which we didn't pick the pre-show. We did pick Saraya and Dr. Britt Baker, right?
Mhm.
I believe we all picked Saraya.
We did.
How'd we do on that one, Dave? We won that one.
We won that one. That we saw. I mean, it happened. We didn't get the outside interference. Well, we kind of did, but we didn't. You know, there was some. Rebel got caught.
Was that her in that one, or was that in?
No, that was in Jamie Hayter's.
That was in Jamie Hayter's match. See, and you know what? Actually,
we're doing
that's
great
a
on
really
our review.
no, but that's a really good point that he makes. To me, there was way too much in every match. There was a table, a hammer, a person, a belt, there was just a body bag. There was way too much.
Too much gimmicks.
Too many gimmicks, too many just in and outs. Now, my question for you all, Saraya just came back and basically beat their top woman in AEW. Where does she go from here?
I don't know is she going to go after Jade, or is she going to go? Well, I don't know. Jamie Hayter. She may try. That would be Jamie Hayter would be the logical choice for her, because Jade's semi. I mean, she's a good guy now.
Right. Well, yeah. People cheer. I just wonder though if they shouldn't have thought about letting her first match coming back be with somebody else.
They should just change her name to Saraya.
I know. Paige. Can we just say the formerly known as Paige? You know, as I was watching it and after it was over, I wondered about that, thinking it's like, okay, would it not have been better if she started out with, someone mid-level, like, oh, you think you're going to come in and take a spot? I've been working my butt off here, and you just show up and think and then you could have worked your way up. Like I said, now you have nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I have thought really hard about this, but I don't think I would pay for this pay-per-view again. It was fine, but there was nothing there that I felt like, what?
You was on the fence about buying it, and you did. So are you saying you regret buying the thing?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of money. And
yes, I think I would have been okay catching clips, because I feel like, we really thought Paige, formerly known as Paige, should win. We really thought MGF should win. Some of the other matches we didn't care about or necessarily, I don't feel like there was anything there that just made me say, I have got to buy this pay-per-view. I want to see it happen live.
To me, the most entertaining part was MJF's post, his scrum at the end, but we'll get to that.
No kidding.
Our
Well,
next match.
I mean,
oh, go ahead, Dave.
I don't know. I thought that the finish was flat on this match.
Mhm.
The Bleacher Report gave it a C. Gave it a C plus.
Mhm.
I gave it 2 jars and a mouthful.
About the same. Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Why did you think it was flat? I mean, it was just out of nowhere, or what? What do you think?
I thought the finish was like, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the psychology earlier, Britt working on the neck. I don't know. It just.
Well, there you heard it. Two jars and a mouthful. I'm surprised he got the mouthful. I thought it would just get 2 jars, but okay.
Mhm.
Our next match that we have here is Sting and Darby Allin versus Double J. That's JEFF JARRETT versus and Jay Lethal. So, what happened here, Dave?
Well, started out, they all were brawling. They set it up for Jeff to be in the ring with Sting. Sting is like the Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees of wrestling. He doesn't have to run, but he'll catch you.
Mhm. Mhm.
He's always brooding. He's lurking. He manages to catch everybody, but he don't have to run to do it.
Sometimes he does have to jump off of things to do it, though. We've seen that so far. Which is amazing that he's doing that stuff. Darby
doing the coffin drop. He did the coffin drop off that platform,
Mhm.
and Satnam. Am I saying his name right? Satin.
Satin and Singh.
Mr. Singh caught him. Now, I mean, it's impressive. Darby's no bigger than I am, but that's kind of impressive that he could drop from that distance, and the man caught him.
And then flung him like a kid. Just
yeah. So, and I liked it when they were in the ring, and he just kind of takes over. I mean, he's just so intimidating. I mean, I can't wait to see this guy really start getting into some matches. I think he's going to kind of break the mold on what we've been getting out of Giants for the last few years. I gave this. Oh, go ahead.
How was our predictions on this? We all said that they were going to get the heat on Allen, but Jeff and
we didn't even come close.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that Sting and Darby would win.
Yeah,
okay.
I think the way the finish, it fell flatter than a plate of piss to me. I think it should have built up. I mean, it's kind of like, Lethal ate the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Off of and I don't like. I mean, Darby. He annoys me because he runs as fast as he can and he dives.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just this kid's not going to be able to walk in 5 years if he keeps this up. But I mean, it's not
especially
calculated.
If he's doing flips on his bikes and his everything else that he does.
He's extreme.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and keep in mind, I also say I'm not criticizing the skill level, but I am criticizing the psychology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he won a match. He won a coffin match one time and got up on the top of the ring, the ring post, and went ahead and did a coffin drop through the coffin. Why? Why are you going to fall on your back from that height? Why?
So
I would like to see.
How many jars did it get, Dave?
Bleacher Report gave it a C.
I'm going to guess this one got 2 jars.
No, I gave it 3 because Jeff Jarrett's in it, and Jeff Jarrett's one of the, in my mind, he's right up there. I love Jeff Jarrett, so
Mhm.
he got the homer call from me.
I did like how Jay Lethal, um, Sanjay, and Jeff Jarrett all matched. They all had the red, black, and white going. I thought that was, very good, cohesive. Like we are not just thrown together for this one match. Like we're really like a team. I really like that.
I liked when
Um,
Sanjay got in the ring and Singh got in there and just pushed Sanjay out of the way, like, I got this. You just can't.
yes.
You're not handling it. And I'd like to. I mean, I get the character that they gave to Sanjay, but Sanjay Dutt was an incredible performer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know why his physicality is more like on the Briscoe Patterson level right now. See the comedy relief of that crew. But I thought Jay Lethal deserved better. If you're gonna pin Lethal, at least let Sting do it.
I think we
Yeah.
thought Jay Lethal deserved better pretty much this whole time, not just this match.
Yeah.
He's a very good worker, and
Well, remember, I'm not criticizing. When I say 3 jars, that's just my jar system is, am I encouraging you to seek out and watch this match? Yeah.
mhm.
It's not a bad match to watch. There's enough in it that it's entertaining.
Well,
But
speaking of bad matches, we're coming up to Amy's favorite match of the night, which is our boy in a cage match, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. Rage in the cage, as they would say. How did this one go? I know Jungle Boy got the victory. I saw him after the match, and his face looked a little banged up, cut up. Looked like they had a good battle in there. How was it? Amy, what do you think about it?
You go first, Amy.
Yeah, since you're the one who was not looking forward to it.
Well, I will say it was fine. I didn't understand why he jumped off the top of the cage onto Luchasaurus, who's on a table, and that wasn't the finish. He ended up doing the snare trap. So I just was kind of like, that was maybe a little much. I felt like I loved how Luchasaurus in the beginning was just beating the crap out of, Jungle Boy, throwing him into the cage, like really manhandling him because he should, as a huge
Right.
brute in a cage, he should. I didn't like how they were able to leave the cage. I thought that was kind of, I don't think it needed it. That's some of these things that they do, they didn't need that. They did not need to leave the cage. That kind of was like, well, so I love Christian in a turtleneck, Allison Faye, and I think that's a pretty hot look. I thought that they, like I said, I just didn't understand why him coming off the top. That was a great, visual. I don't know why that wasn't the finish. So that was all that's, kind of what I thought about that match.
Dave, go ahead.
For starters, I loved that this was an old school feud blow off match in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I love that was in the cage. I don't love that AEW leaves a space between the cage and where you can fall down in between the ring and the cage. I don't like that. I think it ought to be squared up. That's just me. I love that Luchasaurus went at him. Luchasaurus did what you're supposed to do. He put his face into the cage and he started scraping it. The blood made sense. That part I loved. Jungle Boy was eating the cage like a champ. My grandson asked, why was he diving into the cage? So an 8-year-old noticed there was a little too much cooperation going on. Also, he said that my grandson, go taking a left turn here. He said that he likes the cage matches where they escape.
The only reason I like the little guy, the cage match when they get out is because the little guys will try to get out like Sami Zayn when he's a scaredy cat, and then the big guys will slam him down on the wrestling match.
And I asked him why, because he's wrong. But I asked him why, and here's what he said. And he said that because he likes seeing the bad guy be chicken and he's being a chicken and a coward trying to get away. Like he said, when Sami Zayn tries to get out of the cage, he's being a chicken. And I get it. So that appeals to an 8-year-old. The comedy aspect of being a chicken shit hill. I mean, trying to get away. They say it on AEW, so it's PG. Anyway.
I think you get 1 an hour, right? Isn't that how that works?
There we go. I like. Then he wants to know. I mean, Christian, I'm with you. They really. I hate that you have a cage match that we're going to go outside, but Christian comes and grabs the key. He's up there trying to unlock it. I love that they started calling for security. We're not having this.
Mm-hmm.
And security takes Christian out. I love it. Gave him a reason to get outside. Then the 8-year-old asked me, why do they keep all that stuff under the ring? The chairs and the table. I don't know why the chair is not a finisher, but the table is. I mean, I'd rather be hit with the table. I'd rather be through a table than get hit with a chair.
Mm-hmm.
But the crowd wants the table. We're leading towards the table. He gets up on the top of the cage. He doesn't splash him through the table. He drops an elbow through the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm with you, Amy. Make the cover. Because why are we doing that? Just to put him in a submission.
If it's just a secondary spot based, to me, that makes it a secondary spot to the finish. Whereas that should be the spot.
I get you're going to jump off the cage. That's fine. That we're doing that. I'm good with it. But make the cover. 1, 2. Luchasaurus kicks. When he kicks, roll him over. Then you lock him up. All right. Well, you kicked out. Now let's see if you, and then make him tap.
Yeah.
Right.
But at least you tried for the pin to follow up, because you don't do something that spectacular to go for a submission move.
Right.
And nothing he did off top of the cage lends any credibility to his submission move. That's my only problem with the whole match, is that it came up to the finish. Bleacher Report gave it a B+. I gave it 3 jars and a mouthful. And I probably would have gave it 4.5, 5 without that finish.
Now, let me ask you guys this, because I was refereeing. I didn't get a chance to watch it. How was Luchasaurus's work in the ring? Because sometimes it looks really good to me. Like, first couple times I saw him, I thought, man, he's going to be really good. He moves good for a big guy. And then I've seen some matches where it's like, he's still got a lot to learn. So how was it on the
I thought it was good. I mean, here's how I look at it. It didn't stand out as bad.
Yeah.
Right.
He was doing big guy things inside the cage. He was utilizing the cage as a weapon, as it should be.
Right.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It wasn't a wrestling match. I mean, there were no him jumping off anything. It was strictly beating the crap out of Jungle Boy. So definitely played up to Luchasaurus's strengths. Like I said, in the first part, he manhandled him, which he should. I mean,
yeah, you gotta build to the comeback, and so
right.
Yes.
I'm good, and I mean, this was a really good match.
I actually thought it would be, and unlike some people on this show. Let's go on to our next match. We got Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill and Nyla Rose. How'd this one go, Dave?
It was on the card.
Yeah,
I like Thundercat Jade. I like Thundercat Jade.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the entrance, Nyla's entrance with Vicky and the lowrider, the Eddie thing. I mean, you got Vicky there. I don't have a problem with them. I mean, it's kind of gratuitous with Eddie, but it's Vicky, so why not?
Dave's dying on us. Come back to us, Dave.
I love the entrance. I love Thundercat Jade. I thought it was a good match. I don't. Sometimes I don't think Nyla Rose matches up really well. Like when you put her in there with Riho, there's too much normally going on that distracts me from thinking that this is a contest. There's normally not any good there's never any psychology whenever somebody smaller goes against Nyla. So all of this, nothing stood out as bad for me. Bleacher Report gave it a C-. I thought that was a little harsh, honestly. I gave it a solid 3 jars.
You thought that was better than Soraya and Dr. Britt? Didn't you do 2 in a swallow?
Well, yeah, but
2 in a mouthful.
he thought the finish was flat on that first one.
Gotcha.
It's not a swallow, it's a mouthful. Get it right, Amy. Come on.
Yeah.
Dave does not swallow. We all know that.
My bad.
Anyway, I did like this match better than Soraya and I did.
Dr. Britt.
But Jade.
What'd you think?
Jade's
about
one of my
Amy?
favorites.
I'm with you, Dave. I love the Thundercat. I love that Jade does that for all the big matches that she has. She goes and does something different. She was the Hulk, She-Hulk one time. She was the Thundercat. I really like that. Again, enjoyed that interest of Nyla Rose. I don't know what has happened, but I do not take Nyla Rose serious because of she constantly gets beat by smaller opponents. And that is not on her. That is the booking from AEW. They don't treat her. They say she's a beast, but they do not treat her like a beast. You've got 2 very green women who called the match. You know what I'm saying? So it was, maybe if it could have been someone that was a little bit more seasoned, maybe a little bit more time calling things, it was kind of what Dave says. It was on the card.
So I got a question. I know, is Dean Malenko, is he helping with the women's matches or who's doing that? Do you guys know?
I do not.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Our next match is we go from one Turner station to the next. It's the TNT Championship match between the champion Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I'll just say on my end, I heard some rough stuff about this match. People not liking the finish. What do you think, Amy?
I do not understand what they're doing to poor Powerhouse Hobbs. He is an absolute total. I mean, he could be a total package for them. I thought everybody was too big. Like you have 3 big guys going after each other. We're supposed to care that Samoa Joe turned on Wardlow when they were friends for 3 weeks or whatever. Like it in Powerhouse Hobbs, I feel like came out of nowhere. To be part of this, I just felt like it was.
Joe screwed him out of it.
Oh, is that why he got added?
I mean, Joe turned on Wardlow because Wardlow said that he's going to take all the titles. Well, Joe's standing there with a title and like, this isn't going to happen.
Right.
I mean,
that's a really. Again, I'm just thinking like, I don't care. Like if they've been best friends, I don't know. I just don't. I feel like too, if you look at a lot of these matches, again, it's someone turning on another person, and that's kind of where we got. I mean,
but there was a
understand.
reason. I mean,
was that a good reason, though, Dave?
Well,
was that a good reason?
Wardlow was out there with letting his alligator mouth overload his ostrich ass.
He just got done with the match and he was pumped up. I mean, hell, I'd say I want all the belts, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was like, very sensitive of you, Samoa Joe, to get upset
But-
because
Yeah.
someone
but,
says
I mean,
they
you
want all the
said-
belt.
I just
mean-
think I would defend Amy's opinion in this way. I believe she's right in that there's too many people turning on each other in this pay-per-view. You can only do it a few times in a pay-per-view where it gets to be old, and we're gonna see it in the main event as well. So it's just like, seems like a lot of people turning, and that's if you're living off of just people turning on each other, are you really telling stories, or are you just having people turn on people for the sake of doing it?
Well, Stone
Well,
Cold
you
Steve
know-
Austin tried to say, "Don't trust anybody."
Well, but imagine if, I mean, think about Shawn Michaels when he turned on Marty Jannetty. Like, I think that's encased in people's head, Marty Jannetty going through the
Well,
barbershop window.
And they built that for months.
Exactly. And they had been partners forever. So, I mean, what if it had been just 3 weeks and he threw him in? Nobody's going to care. That's not that big of a deal. But when
Yeah.
we saw really what we considered, best friends, partners, like you said, having a little squabbles, making up, and then him throwing him through that window. I mean, everybody sees that when I talk, when I'm saying it, you picture Marty Jannetty because you saw it, and it was, like you said, such a riveting situation, and it just pitted them forever. So that's just my thoughts.
How
I
many
mean-
jars you give this one, Dave?
I gave 3 in a mouthful. I liked it. The finish saved it. You didn't like the finish. I thought Joe running in with the belt. Joe runs in with the belt, hits Wardlow, chokes out Hobbs. I mean, he picked the bones because Hobbs was out from all the Wardlow, because Wardlow doesn't have. I mean, Wardlow feels like he has to keep power bombing a ridiculous number of times. But I liked using the belt, stealing the win. I don't know why Samoa Joe needs TNT title, but the way that he did it was brilliant, and I like that. That saved it. Also, boy, I think Wardlow might have actually hurt Hobbs with that dirty senton that he did, that swanton. Because if you hadn't seen it, he came down on him, and if he didn't break one of that man's ribs, or it was dirty looking. That's a lot of man falling on a lot of man right there.
I'd rather
No
take
kidding.
a dirty senton than a dirty Sanchez, but there's that.
You know what though? I think, Dave, what could have helped that match is if it was earlier in the card, because we had already seen multiple gimmicks, multiple belts, multiple things being used to help people win. This was like the 4th one. So it might have had more impact if it was the first time we saw, the first
And I agree with that.
We saw it in this card.
You
it
gotta
was almost
you gotta
like a
quit doing
court.
the same thing in every match. No, I don't know if the agents whose the agents are and why they're not communicating that we're getting too much. I do 100% agree with it, but the way that he pulled it off was brilliant.
Right.
But
nobody
took advantage,
remembers that.
took advantage of no disqualification. So it really wasn't even cheating. It was just he actually operated in the framework of the rules of this match.
Right. But nobody's going to remember it because there were so many of those gimmicky hits or whatever, even though Samoa Joe did it very, fluidly, compared to some of the others that we saw.
Bleacher Report gave it a C+, and I enjoyed it more than that. I thought it was worth watching. It was one of the better matches on the show for me.
Okay. Next, we didn't get to pick that one because it wasn't announced. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
was it?
Coming up now, we got the Ring of Honor World Championship. Claudio Castagnoli versus Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho, the champion. Dave, how'd you feel about this fatal 4-way for the Ring of Honor Championship?
Well, like I said last week, I felt like this could have stole the show, and it may have. Claudio's music. I loved Claudio's music. I loved it. Sammy, I liked the cape, but immediately I thought that's too much like Danhausen.
What color was it?
Well, I don't think it was so much the color. It was like gold and black,
It was
but
the
it
style with the the vampire, the
Oh,
Dracula type
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah.
It's a
And
lot
then
like
it came-
Danhausen.
it came down here and it had an
It was
S
badass
and a
looking.
G, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it was you know, I'd rather see him look like Danhausen than bring his wife with him.
Right. Somebody was saying that it was a homage to something. I mean, Nyla Rose did an homage to Assassin's Creed, right? That's what they were saying.
Was that what that
And we had-
was?
yeah, and we had Thundercats, and I wish I knew. I don't play game or video games, so I don't really know. But apparently, Sammy's was doing some kind of uh, tip of the hat to something. So
Okay. Well,
All these
I
guys,
like-
there's a lot of video game marks in AEW. Adam Cole's doing video game
Oh, yeah.
crap.
mhm.
If you don't watch video, if
Kenny
you don't play
Omega.
video games, you won't know what they're dressed like.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Thundercats. I remember them. No.
If someone dresses up like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I'll know what the hell's going on.
well, yeah, but at least the Kenny Omega and the Elite try to actually look like they're doing video game moves
Yeah.
Mhm. Mm.
with unlimited power ups. Anyway, we didn't. We skipped that match. We'll have to go back and
What, the Ring of Honor?
no
we-
the 6-man.
Oh,
It's on the
Ye-
list, isn't it? Because it was
yeah.
on.
Oh, did I skip it?
We did, but we'll come. We'll
Oh.
circle back. I can't wait to shit upon it.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll get to it. I like that they teamed up. I like how sports entertainers teamed up against the Combat Club. I like how at first the psychology was that they were teaming against each other. I liked it a lot. I did notice that Jericho will not open up for Daniel Bryan. When I say open up, he's kind of closing his chest off. He's not opening up and giving him something to shoot for there.
Yeah.
This is a little thing, but I picked up on it. And then when he did the kick to the head, Jericho totally screwed him. If you're not going to take the kick to the head, don't sell it. Because I don't know if he's scared of getting kicked in the head. It just stuck out like you're not opening up your chest for him to kick you. And then you do that with the camera, and with a different camera angle, I might not have caught it, but he was really, really playing it safe there. The lion salt spot hit for me.
I always like a lion salt.
The lion salt spot hit for me. When he hit, because Sammy was in there doing something. Jericho did the lion salt. So Sammy took some friendly fire there. And that's when Sammy got mad. And that's when his nuts dropped and he was ready to fight now. And then Claudio's sharpshooter. Man, that sharpshooter Claudio has is the best. It's so Claudio is. Oh,
as good of an in-ring worker as there is today and has been for a long time.
He definitely deserves better than what he's getting. When he had the sharpshooter, then he takes one of his arms and he reaches down and he grabs the knee for extra leverage and pulls. So he's really cranking on. He's just not up here with it. He actually gets that handful of knee and pulls up.
That's the trick.
It's the little things.
I used to pull that same trick on my little brother on the trampoline back in 1998.
But it's the little things, man. The little things mean so much. And like I said, I don't know what why Claudio, is he not political enough backstage? Because the office in WWE soured on him, or he gets over, but it's like they push him down. He's getting the same treatment AEW. I don't think he should have lost the championship when he lost it. Why we even put it on him? Unless we just had to get it off of
and you picked him to win this match, right? I believe you did.
I picked Jericho to retain. I didn't think
right.
Jericho was losing the belt.
Okay.
I was rooting for Claudio, But my thing is that out of the 4 people in there, he's the one that ate the pin.
Yeah.
I mean,
figured, I think Sammy probably should have been the guy to eat the pin, but it seems like they have a vested interest in keeping Sammy strong. It's like you said, it's almost like Sammy's more in there politically, obviously, than Claudio is. So Claudio gets the short end.
but Claudio, he wrestles better. He looks the part.
Yep.
He looks the part. He conducts himself like a professional. I just don't understand. And hopefully, I'd like to just see better for him.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, this was 4 jars, y'all. Bleacher Report gave it a B+. It's a 4-jar match. There was very little I could pick apart about it. Go out of your way to see it. It was this. I think it was even with the main event, I think this was the match of the night.
Yeah. And Jericho did retain, is that right?
He did retain.
Yep. All right, on to our next one, which is the All Elite Wrestling World Tag Team Championship match. I don't know why my voice just started to go out all of a sudden. The Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. We all decided that this wasn't really even going to be a choice. They can't take the belts off the Acclaimed, right? And I assume they did not do that.
No, they
Correct.
advanced the storyline with Keith Lee and Swerve splitting up. Swerve left him out there on his own.
He smacked him. Swerve smacked him. Smacked Keith Lee.
Yeah. I mean, Swerve wants to do bad things, and Keith Lee's not comfortable with bad things. So that'll break them off for a nice little feud on the side.
As a former Cincinnati Bearcat, I miss the Bearcat Keith Lee name. I kind of liked that. Thought that was cool. But
I was just going to say, Billy Gunn came down, because they did a spot where they're going to hurt. They're going to cut someone's fingers off like they did him, and
choppy pee to the fingers, huh?
So Billy Gunn came down. And I was thinking about how Billy Gunn, he used to be in the WWE with Road Dogg. They were tag team champions. And they were also in DX with Triple H, Road Dogg, Chyna, Billy Gunn,
X-Pac,
and X-Pac, and Shawn Michaels. And in 1985, Shawn Michaels had a match in WCCW against Billy Jack Haynes. So,
man, you reached a long way for that one. That's a long reach.
And do you know, the other day I was looking at, I think it was Pro Wrestling Tees, or I don't know, one of those things. They have a Billy Jack Haynes autographed picture for sale. They only have one, but they want $250 for it. So I was just kind of like, but I mean, I'm just telling you, the reach of Billy Jack is all over the place.
There
it
is.
There he is.
There's our Billy Jack reference of the week.
Exactly. 6 degrees.
Dave, what'd you give this match?
I gave it 3 jars. I mean, it was good for what it was. I mean, I didn't hate it. I was tired. At this point, I'm tired. This show's gone on for a long time.
It's a lot of matches in this thing. We didn't even cover the pre-show match, the dark match, or whatever you want to call them. Our next one, though, is the All Elite Wrestling World Trios Championship match. The Elite versus the Death Triangle.
Good time for a piss break.
Piss break Jones himself over there.
It is.
What do you think about this one, Amy?
I like the song Kansas sings. I like that song.
What song is it?
Carry on my wayward son.
Carry on my wayward son. There we go.
I don't care for I don't care. Okay, going back, Penta and Phoenix, their masks that they wore were just spectacular. Again, I really do like that about everybody. Going back to the ROH title, Danielson and Claudio, their gear was very similar. Like it had matching type colors. It wasn't the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But again, they only have 4 pay-per-views. So, I mean, the competitors are really, they're coming out and putting out their
They got to get
best foot forward.
They got to get their stuff in. Yeah.
Yes. And so I really do like that, Penta's mask and Phoenix, the way they look was great. This is not my kind of match. Like the choreographed moves and
same here.
It's just not my type of match. And so
you and I've been listening to Jim Cornette too long. I hate it when people
yes.
are standing around waiting for someone to jump on them, or
and I know it's fake. I mean, or it's choreographed. I mean, I know that there is an element of I know how this all happens.
Sometimes
they have to be working together.
Sometimes the timing just doesn't go right, and there's that's gonna happen.
It comes off as like a musical, like whenever they're like walking down the street and then all of a sudden everybody starts dancing and they're doing, the people behind you are doing some kind of, shuffle or whatever. It's too much. I do not like these matches at all. So.
As Dave Silva would say, that's too much.
Well, I mean, the first thing that rubbed me wrong about the whole thing is that the champions were in the ring first.
Yeah.
And then I like the entrance for the Elite, but I like Kansas.
I sang it while you were gone.
Yes, he did. Swooning.
You missed
that. Sorry, Pittsburgh Jones fell on me this week.
I'm not going to do it twice because I don't want to lose all of our listeners this week.
So I thought Kenny Omega and Pac were the best part of this match. Then, of course, they had the hammer. We're telling that story, much like Keith Lee didn't want to use the guardrail or the clippers, or I mean, even that's twice in one show. I mean,
it's way more than that. I mean, like you said,
way
more just ridiculous.
And then there was a tag made on the ring apron that was allowed. That referee doesn't ever try to get anybody out of the ring. He just stands back there, might act like he's sometimes I don't know. It's just
Jim Cornette calls him the corpse referee.
Yeah, I mean,
can I ask you a question, Dave?
It says I love the finish. It says I love the finish, but I don't remember what the finish was. But my notes say I loved it. Ask me.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the finish was. Being a ref, one of the things that I hear from Jim Cornette, multiple other people on the internet, or even I see it myself, your refs in AEW are pointless. They are there to count 3, but they are not there to uphold any rules, because apparently there are no rules, or every match is a no disqualification, and maybe maybe that's my fault. Maybe
I don't remember the last time there was a disqualification in AEW.
And it's just like, just because there's more than 2 people in a match, why does that have to be a disqualification? But anyway, I just wondered how you felt as a ref. That makes your profession, or how does that come across? Or do you think they're just doing because that's the AEW thing, or what?
Yeah, they have no problem burying a referee.
No, they don't.
I mean, if I get to 5, you're getting disqualified.
Right.
Like, I feel like Kyoto couldn't work over there because he'd be so mad.
They're not going to play they tried him and he hadn't been back. So that tells me that Kyoto's not going to get buried.
Right.
And it's not a matter of, it's not like I'm saying, I'm not going to do what I'm asked. If they say, hey, we're going to go outside, give us a little leeway. Well, I said, okay, I'm going to count. I need you to break the count. I said, then I'll count again. But this time I'm going to get out and come with you. and I'm going to try to
Mhm.
reason with you to get. So I'm going to give them some time, but it
Mhm.
looks like I'm not just standing there with thumb, because if I get to 10, you're gone, and I can't
Right.
stop. I mean, you're going to have to stop me, but I might get to 5 and get out of the ring and just try to convince you.
This reminds me
Right.
this is what we do with 3 seconds in high school basketball. Because I don't want to interrupt the game calling a 3 seconds on someone. So what I do is I yell at them, hey, get out. And if they don't get out, now I got to call it. Now they're
Mhm.
putting the heat on me and making me look bad. But there's, you can definitely, like you're saying, Dave, you can do things to try and help them.
It's
That,
called working.
yeah,
Mhm.
We're working
Mhm.
together.
right.
Well, I
I
think
mean,
Dave, you had
if I've
mentioned it.
got you in the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you release, but then you grab right back on, and I'm like, or they got your foot on 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I don't feel like, then I'll grab on. I mean, I'll grab and I'll physically move them at that point, because
Mhm.
you can't let me hit 5.
Right.
You
Mhm.
can't, because then it's just BS to the crowd at that point.
Do you think that falls on they kind of like what you're talking about, Mike Chioda? Do they really have any veteran referees on their, on their roster? Do you feel like they're
Yeah.
all fairly? They do.
Hey,
Who? I
I
mean,
don't
that
feel
would.
like I don't feel like that the referees are bad. I mean,
You think
Bryce
that's
has
just
been
the way
around.
they're
Bryce
told?
has been around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna torch referees.
Right.
I think they're doing what they're told to do.
The person that's
Mm-hmm.
writing the checks is who
And I don't
deserves the
think
blame.
I think there's ways, and maybe if they tried to not look like they're getting buried so bad, maybe if they tried to protect themselves a little bit, that may not go over in the back. I don't know. I don't work there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Did you
I
think
haven't been in a position, very rarely, that I've been. Normally, if somebody's in the ring that doesn't give a shit if I look bad or not, I'm sorry, y'all. If somebody don't care that I look bad, it's normally somebody that's really green, just started.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get these kids that are fresh out of wrestling school that can't wait to do their 83 moves.
Sure.
And, you know, it's just that's what's, but
Yeah.
the guys that have been around for a while, we work together
Mm-hmm.
to a certain extent. And I'm willing to do just about anything they ask me to do, but don't make me look like an idiot doing it.
It's
Mm-hmm.
no different than, me working with a new official. They might do something that makes me look stupid, call something right in front of me that I decided not to call
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever. And that's the same way with you as with young wrestlers. They might just do something that makes you look, but they're new, so you just kind of have to go with the flow of it, not get mad because they don't know any better.
One of the
Mhm.
things I got so mad at myself one night, and it's been about 3 years now. They went and they did their thing, and I was going to count 3, and the other wrestler got in there and they both pinned the guy. And I went ahead and counted 3. And I was so mad at myself for doing it. But in that split second, I thought, if I don't count this, because it was the finish,
They're going to have to redo the finish.
those
Yeah.
guys aren't going to know it's going to be really bad. They're going to kill the momentum of this show,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think that these Nimrods, I don't think that they can
figure out how to.
I don't
keep
think they
going.
can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they can, but I was so mad at myself. And then the next tag team match that I refereed 2 matches later, they made it tornado rules. So we've already had a finish that involved they've screwed this guy's finish earlier in the show. I shouldn't have counted the 3.
No, I think you should have. I honestly think you did the right thing because they wouldn't have known what to do after that. They wouldn't have known where to go.
I felt
And
like
you
that
said,
that
it
early
would've
in the
killed
card,
momentum.
and you can kill a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like this. I feel like this AEW. I mean, I think with all the gimmicks and extra things that they felt like they had to do, which they really didn't. I feel like that really killed probably a pretty decent show.
All right, let's
That's
get
my
on to our
opinion.
next match. We've spent a lot of time on that one. Our All Elite Wrestling World Women's Championship match. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. Amy, you're the only woman on this show, so I'll go to you first. What do you think about this one?
I like the match. I'm glad that Jamie won. I don't think I picked her. I thought they would keep it on Toni Storm.
I picked Toni Storm too, I believe.
I think that again, the whole interim thing is just kind of a weird, again, I know a lot of people. I didn't think Rebel needed to come down. I didn't think Britt Baker needed to come down. Jamie and Toni were doing great on their own. They were having a really good match. And I think that just was extra gaga that did not need to be there. And I don't know why they did that, But I enjoyed this match. This was probably one of my favorite.
Okay. Dave?
I thought there was good back and forth. Toni was bleeding. She got popped pretty good. I don't think we didn't need all the interference. I still gave it 3 jars. Bleacher Report gave it a B+. I just felt like it was clumsy. What
part do you think? I mean, was it just like, what do you mean you felt it was clumsy?
That Toni Storm was bleeding, and not because she's supposed to.
She got it the hard way, pal.
Pac was bleeding the hard way earlier. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they try so hard. I don't know, as popular as Jamie Hayter is right now, I don't think all the interference was necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's basically what Amy was saying. They're
just throwing people out there and doing things to do it, and it didn't need it.
How many real clean finishes did we have on this card? I mean, not someone running out, not someone interfering, not someone using a big gimmick. There wasn't a whole lot of clean finishes, really, was there?
Maybe Eddie Kingston, the pre-show match. I'm looking at my thing.
I can't remember one.
There's none. There's absolutely none except for Eddie Kingston and who he wrestled.
But I'm excited that Jamie Hayter's got the belt, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it.
Definitely.
How many jars did you say you gave that, Dave?
I gave it 3. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the one I've been wanting to talk about this whole time. The All Elite Wrestling Championship match between Jon Moxley, the world champion, versus Maxwell, the MJF. We all picked MJF to win. MJF did win. What was your feeling on this match, Dave?
First, the MJF motorboating on the way to the ring.
Oh, yeah, that was
MJF's over with me.
I'll say this, at least he asked for permission first. So
he did.
Me too cannot come after him for that.
This may sound like a bold statement. MJF could be the modern day Nature Boy.
Could be. That's the first time I've ever seen MJF ask permission to do anything.
But he could be a modern day Nature Boy. I'm 100% in with the MJ. I wish he would tone his language down. I wish they all would.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's hard when you're sitting there watching it with your grandson. And he's dropping. Yeah.
I mean, if
same way with Amy, if Aaron were to be watching with her.
I couldn't watch the press conference when it all started, because I was watching a clip with the "thank you, F you, bye."
That was my favorite. I know.
I love it. I know why he did it. I love it.
I do too. It was such a good callback. It was so great.
But I mean, he came in and he talked trash and he said, "I made y'all think all this," and I'm for it. And we called Regal. We all pretty much called Regal.
Yeah.
I mean, slipping in the brass knucks. I would prefer to see Regal. I don't know. Maybe it was good that he did it himself instead of.
Can I just say something for the Podfather, Conrad Thompson? They're stealing his finish from Ric Flair's last match. How dare them?
Pretty much. I
Well,
think
it's
that
a
we
good
found
idea.
out that that
I was
MJF is not the devil.
After I saw the Nux get slid in, I thought Dave was going to come running down the ramp.
Oh, yeah, the referees. And let's talk about John Moxley in this match. I thought Moxley was very, very good in this match. And when Moxley isn't doing that garbage wrestling,
Mhm.
he shows signs of being great.
Mm-hmm. You mean you didn't appreciate him grabbing Effie's crotch and kissing him or whatever he did there at GCW?
Eh.
No, I agree with you.
Unless you're getting a check for at least $10,000, I don't think you're getting paid enough to do all that stuff.
You're not. First of all, I think that we're going on a sidebar here.
Yeah.
But I think it's really bad if you're going to be the champion of AEW to be going and doing that type of stuff on the side. And like you said, if they're not going to give you a brick of money, which they're not, why are you risking ruining your character over on the other side in a way?
And he likes it. I mean, he likes it.
He does. Yeah.
And he's doing it, and he's doing GCW a solid. But apparently Tony Khan didn't like it.
I don't blame him.
He never acknowledged that he was the GCW champion. And I mean, you got belts that look like they were put together in a trophy shop and then sold in a pawn shop showing up on AEW. He has got no problem showing other companies' belts. But he showed GCW got no love at all.
Can you imagine Vince McMahon back in the day if Bret Hart or Steve Austin went to a show and did that? Vince would have had a heart attack and died over that whole situation.
Yeah.
It's just not something you do. I don't know why. Anyways, we'll go on. Finish your thing here on this one. I can go down a whole rabbit hole on that thing.
The Bleacher Report gave it a B+. I gave it 4 jars. It was very enjoyable. Went the way I wanted it to. I love MJF. I'm proud that I've got an AEW belt, and it's going to have an MJF nameplate on it because
cool.
I mean, out of all the champions they've had, you know, I'm excited about this. I'm excited now that he's champion. And I mean, him and Omega, I mean, other than Omega, I haven't been all that thrilled with anybody else as champion.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I loved it that MJF is the champion. To me, MJF is their Roddy Piper. He's their dude right now. And I think the fans want it. Did the fans pop when he won?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the fans want it. And that doesn't mean you have to make him a baby face. Leave him heel. But just let him do his stuff, you know? This is not the same situation like in 97, 98 when Austin was a heel, but the fans kind of turned him face. I don't think this is the same thing. You know what I mean? Do you, Amy? What do you think about it?
Well, you know, I enjoyed the match. Like I said, I feel like we kind of knew, like I would have been beyond disappointed if they were, you know, drug this out anymore. Moxley had new gear. Again, I like whenever they look at it as these pay-per-views as a big event. He had new gear.
He had red pants on or something like that.
He did, kind of maroon, and it kind of went with the whole Blackpool Combat Club coloring that the other ones had too. So that was kind of their thing. I think the best things that happened were not actually on the pay-per-view. And you mentioned one, the scrum that happened afterwards. And then there was a video that I saw of Danielson, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta came down to the ring because Moxley was out, you know, so MJF goes back. I don't know if y'all saw this. And I loved it because they looked like they had just taken a shower. They had, you know, normal clothes on. Like they were kind of, you know, going out the door kind of thing. You know, they were done with their matches. And they came down and they were like reviving Mox, telling him what happened. You could tell the moment Moxley like slaps the ring. It was like you could tell at that moment someone, you know, in the story anyway, someone told him that Regal had, you know what I'm saying? Like so that played really, really well. I thought that's played really, really well that they were all out there, because I think that was one of those things too. You weren't really for sure, like Regal was, how this was all going to play out. Regal had helped MJF. Was MJF going to go to Blackpool Combat Club and Moxley was out, or kind of, what were they going to do? But I really liked that moment. It was a real moment. You know what I'm saying? Where they came down and they were helping their comrade. They told him what happened. He's pounding on the mat.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you? He's pounding on the mat. He's giving them hugs. It was just, he was disappointed. And then, realizing that your best, someone that you trusted cost you the match. I mean, I really thought that was great. And it wasn't even on the pay-per-view. I mean, that was an aftermath.
So let me ask you this question about that. Do you feel like Regal is now going to be teamed up with MJF and be like his Paul Heyman to the champion there? Because MJF obviously doesn't need someone to talk for him, but maybe to be his advocate where it's just not him alone.
I really have no idea.
Because I think someone being alone like a Hulk Hogan, the baby face is alone taking on the world. I think the heel champions, sometimes you just want to put with someone so they have someone to help them cheat.
Well, and I think that, I don't know if they've actually done that with the story or not, but I think we're finding out that MJF was not the devil, is actually Regal.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm interested
excited for it. Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely interested. And just what you had kind of mentioned about the scrum a little bit, what I really liked about it, and I almost say you were saying he's kind of like a current day Ric Flair and Roddy Piper. Well, but I think actually it's a Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and maybe even a little bit of Stone Cold all rolled up in one, because he was talking about events that were very true. Like last time, that was my moment. I came back and it was all about the media scrum. He was talking about the previous pay-per-view. Yeah. He talked about how, like all these moments he should be having were taken away from him with different things that were going on, like the Bucks were doing whatever. That's all true. Like you could see that frustration, when he was talking about things and why this is his time and he's taking it. So you can't, part of me was like, that makes a lot of sense. When he was listing the different events, it's like, yeah, he came back and the only thing people were talking about was CM Punk's and and the scrum and this happened and that happened. So whether that was something that he really thought about or just organically came to him, he lists like 4 or 5 different things in that scrum that had taken away his spotlight when it was supposed to be his spotlight.
Well, and I thought that was awesome. That's a tale as old as time, as they say. Mm-hmm. I think a heel gets over more when they have legitimate things to complain about. For instance, when Bret Hart, turned heel in early '97, Stone Cold stole the Royal Rumble from him. Blah blah blah. There was real things that happened that he can now be bitter about. Definitely. And I think that's what you're seeing here with MJF, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So Dave, are we finished up with this match? Did we get your jar rating on it?
I did. I gave it 4. Okay. 4 jars.
Yeah, 4 jars. All right. Well, the one thing I want to say before we jump out of here, everyone, is we want to thank JD Hoop for doing our artwork. Little throwback to the Peanuts. I know I appreciate him putting me in the pink and black. That was pretty cool for me. So thank you, JD. We really appreciate all you do for us, all you do for ad-free shows. And I know I personally appreciate the person that you are and the friend that you are to us. So thank you, JD. We really appreciate that.
Immensely talented. Talent on loan from God himself.
Mm-hmm. And a super nice person. I love exactly what you said, Justin. He took the picture and he personalized it so much. Obviously, he put you in the black and pink. I'm in purple, my favorite color, with Arn freaking Anderson. And then you have Super Dave running down to the ring. He could not have done better if he had tried. Like, it was just I just love it.
You and I are about to have the same argument that Conrad and Bruce Pritchard's been having. Is it taters and beans or beans and taters? It's pink and black, not black and pink, Amy. Get it
Oh,
right.
my bad. My bad. Pink and black. Black and pink.
All right. Well, we will see you all on next week's episode. We hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family.
It's after Thanksgiving when they
well,
hear this.
It's the day. It's the day after, but people do
Black
it all.
Friday shopping.
People do it all weekend. I know I have a family Thanksgiving on Sunday next weekend, so I know you'll still be probably doing that. Enjoy some football. Enjoy some turkey. Enjoy that time with your family. We hope you had a great time with us here. We had a great time hanging out with you guys, and we will see you next Friday at 6:05. And peace and love, everyone.
Wait,
What
stop
did
the
we
press.
forget?
We're still
Stop
gonna
the press.
going forward. This is the last episode that you're gonna get at 6:05 on a Friday.
Oh, that's right.
We're gonna pivot. And we're gonna drop at 6:05 on Monday.
Because we think you
Yes.
need to start your week with us instead of end your week, right? We're going to
Yeah,
get you pumped up and started on Monday.
She's got a point. That's
Yes.
that's why we're going to do it. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I don't have enough time from recording on Wednesday to get it on Friday and editing video. It has nothing to do with that
No.
I'm up half the night and I got to get up and work. Nothing to do with all that.
No.
So
It's
yeah.
all about
100%.
you, the fans.
All about you.
So after this show, you will catch us on Mondays. So thank you everyone for listening. And like I said earlier, we appreciate you being here with us. You can catch me at JD2040 on Twitter. You can catch Amy at
Amy RD_24.
and you can catch Pondwater and the Pondwater Dave Show at
Ref Super Dave, PWD, or you can get us on our Twitter at PWD Show on Twitter.
That's right. And we will see y'all next week. Once again, peace and love, everyone. Goodbye, everybody.